The Brave Balloon Brigade was not your ordinary group of adventurers. They didn't ride on horseback or sail the seas. No, their vehicles of choice were colorful, buoyant, hot air balloons that glided through the skies like gentle giants. Each member had a balloon that reflected their personality. Captain B's was fiery red with bold golden stripes. Marco's was covered in cheerful polka dots. Lena's was soft lavender with stars that glowed at night. And Sam's had a giant smiling sun on it, always radiating warmth. The brigade was famous across the land for their daring missions, floating to remote mountaintops, rescuing stranded villagers, and even delivering special messages across the skies. But no challenge had prepared them for what lay ahead: the fearful fog. One crisp autumn morning, Captain B received a letter sealed with a wax stamp shaped like a cloud. She opened it in the Briggs clubhouse, a cozy, balloon-shaped building perched atop a hill. The letter read, "Dear Brave Balloon Brigade, our village, Misty Hollow, is trapped beneath an eerie fog that refuses to lift. It swallows our crops, dims the sunlight, and chills our spirits. Please help us before the fog consumes us entirely. Signed, Elder Willow." Bee stood and called to her crew, "This is it, team. Our biggest mission yet. We're heading to Misty Hollow." Marco gulped. "Fog, huh? Sounds spooky." "It's just water vapor," Lena said confidently, though her voice wavered slightly. "We can handle this." Sam patted Marco on the shoulder. "Stick together, and we'll be fine. We always are." The brigade prepared their balloons, loading them with lanterns, compasses, and enough supplies for a few days. By sunset, they were floating toward Misty Hollow, the sky painted in fiery oranges and purples. As they approached the village, the air grew colder, and a thick, silvery mist began to surround them. The fog seemed alive, swirling and shifting in eerie patterns. Captain B's voice crackled over their radios. "Stay close. Don't lose sight of each other." But the fog had other plans. It grew denser, muffling the sounds of their burners and the rustle of wind. One by one, their balloons drifted apart until each pilot was alone. Marco squinted into the gloom, clutching the edge of his basket. "Hello, Bee, Sam, Lena," he called, but his voice disappeared into the mist. Suddenly, a low, haunting whisper drifted past. "Turn back, turn back." Marco's heart raced. He tightened his grip on the rope, remembering Bee's advice. "Face your fears head on." He lit one of the lanterns, and its warm glow pushed the fog back just a little. There, not far away, he saw a shape, a tall, gnarled tree with branches that stretched out like claws. But beneath the tree, something glittered, a small silver compass. "This might help us find each other," Marco said aloud, snatching it up. Meanwhile, Lena's balloon glided silently through the mist. Her stars barely shone in the suffocating gray. She heard a faint sound, a child crying. "Hello? Are you okay?" she called, steering her balloon toward the sound. The crying grew louder, and soon she saw a young girl sitting on a floating patch of moss, clutching a tattered doll. "I'm lost," the girl whimpered. "I can't find my way home." Lena reached out a hand. "Come aboard. I'll help you." As soon as the girl touched Lena's hand, she dissolved into mist, and a golden key appeared in her place. Lena gasped but felt a surge of courage. "A test," she whispered. "I'm not alone. I can do this." Sam's balloon was the brightest, but even its sun design seemed dim against the relentless fog. He hummed to keep his spirits up, remembering how his grandma always told him that songs could chase away fear. Out of nowhere, the mist thickened, and his balloon bumped against something. "What the—" Sam looked over the edge and saw a massive stone statue of a knight holding a shield. Inscribed on the shield were the words, "Sing, and the light will guide you." Sam chuckled nervously. "Good thing I like to sing." He took a deep breath and began a cheerful tune about sunny days and clear skies. To his amazement, the fog began to glow faintly, forming a path ahead. At the end of the path was a shimmering crystal feather. "Whoa!" Sam muttered, picking it up. I guess I'm on the right track. Captain B, ever the leader, had her own encounter with the fog's strange tests. Her balloon hovered near a swirling vortex of mist that seemed to pull at her with invisible hands. In the center of the vortex floated a glowing sphere, pulsing like a heartbeat. A voice boomed, "Are you strong enough to lead through the unknown?" Bee clenched her fists. "I don't need to be strong alone. My team is my strength." With that, she reached into the vortex, her determination unshakable. The sphere transformed into a radiant amulet, and the vortex disappeared. One by one, the brigade reunited, guided by the glowing treasures they had found. Marco's compass, Lena's key, Sam's feather, and Bee's amulet fit together like pieces of a puzzle, forming a beautiful spinning medallion. As it spun, beams of light shot out, cutting through the fog and revealing the village of Misty Hollow below. The villagers cheered as the brigade landed their balloons in the square. Elder Willow approached, her face lined with worry and hope. "You've done it! The fog is lifting!" Bee smiled but shook her head. "Not yet. The source of the fog is still out there." The medallion pointed toward the village's outskirts, where an ancient tower loomed. The brigade didn't hesitate, floating their balloons to the tower's peak. There, they found the heart of the fog, a cracked crystal that pulsed with dark energy. "Only the medallion can heal it," Bee said. Together, they placed it over the crystal. The treasures they had found glowed brightly, and the crystal began to mend itself. The fog around the tower evaporated, revealing clear skies and warm sunlight. As the brigade returned to the village, the townsfolk showered them with gratitude. "You've saved us," Elder Willow said, presenting them with a banner that read, "Heroes of the Skies." The Brave Balloon Brigade flew home that day with full hearts, knowing they had faced their fears and conquered the fog together. And whenever they saw a misty morning, they smiled, remembering their courage and the treasures of teamwork and trust.